In a confused world, clarity is the only real flex. What do you envy the most in other people? Is it wealth, love, social abilities? These are all desirable features in someone's life, things we observe in other people, yet we desire in our lives too. But if you think about it, there's a common root behind all of those, and it's clarity. Here's a couple of examples. First, in terms of happiness, when your values, your goals, and your boundaries align, decision-making becomes effortless. No more conflicting desires, no dissonance, just alignment in every single experience in your life. Number 2, purpose. Purpose can happen only when you know your deepest values, when every action of yours has a deeper value behind it. Number 3, material success. Money follows focus. When you know the exact skills you need and those you don't, you channel your energy into high-value pursuits. You stop wasting time on shiny distractions. Profit becomes a natural consequence of your alignment. And finally, in relationships too. Clarity in relationships means you communicate what you want and also what you don't want from other people. You attract people who fit you and repel those who drain you. You don't fight for scraps of attention. So I think this is enough. We can both agree that you need some sort of clarity in your life. Now, I got you. Here's a framework to achieve clarity in your own life. First, know what you don't want. Create your anti-vision. And here, don't just think about material parameters. Try to think in terms of values you don't want to have. Some examples of anti-values are living for others' approval, avoiding discomfort at all costs, sacrificing presence for productivity. And in case you're not sure, go back to past times when you felt like you were lying to yourself, like you were living or doing things that didn't feel aligned to you, that didn't make you feel grateful or blessed. Step 2. Cut out the action that will lead you to living your anti-vision. In other words, actions that align with your anti-values. For example, if you want to avoid living for other people's approval, you'll become aware of that when buying a car. Are you buying it to feel better about your little ego, or because you truly need it and desire it, independently from other people? Just be honest with yourself. Or if you don't want to sacrifice presence for productivity, you'll build your days, your weeks, your months, and your years, making sure you always have time to recharge yourself and be present. Step 3. Now that you know what your anti-vision looks like and you've cut out the actions that will lead you there, you'll automatically know what remains, the things that you truly want instead, the opposite of your anti-vision, which is your vision. If you need more clarity on that, you could list peak moments in your life where you felt alive, proud of yourself, grateful, blessed, anything you want. But also try to make it not all about external achievements or material success. Try to think to times where you felt you were living in accordance to your core values and your inner beliefs. And from now on, step 4, the game is pretty easy. Just do more of what leads you nearer to your vision. More actions that will lead you to live in accordance with your higher values. Practice and embrace your own values day by day. That way, you'll not only get clearer on what makes you feel good, you'll also be less tempted to do stuff that contradicts your vision, your higher values. Because if you live for a pretty decent period of your life in accordance to your core values, you'll automatically reject actions that bring you far from your aligned mind state. You'll automatically know which actions are actually bringing you nearer to your anti-vision. And keep this quote in mind. By the way, if you want free resources, you can check out my free newsletter, 𝗨𝗨. The link is down below. And also, if you want free advice, just DM me on X. The links are down below. Also, since I'm a small channel, subscribe to the channel. It truly helps. Thank you. The thing is that people obsess over material goals. I want X amount of money. Such kind of statements. And this is not wrong. Everyone should have material goals too. The thing is that they should be aligned to your values. You gotta first build a philosophical system for your own self, so that material goals like making X amount of money get aligned to your values, so that you don't feel dissonance after achieving those goals. You achieve them according to your inner values, to your inner compass. You gotta choose deep, solid values to center your whole life around. If one of your values is focus, you'll make sure to build a life where distractions are minimized, to make sure that you do what makes you feel alive the most, which is focusing on important stuff. Alignment is the key word. The goal of clarity is this: knowing when something is aligned, which means it complements your core values, or not aligned when your actions are in contrast with your values. This creates dissonance. As humans, we constantly try to avoid dissonance. While we can tolerate a little bit of dissonance in general, as humans, we try to avoid it, to eliminate from our lives. And do you know what is the easiest way to reduce it? It's by building clarity, which means our actions need to get more aligned to our core values. So you have clarity, values, and alignment. These are the three components to living a clear life, happy life, without cognitive dissonance. I leave you with two more quotes. Alignment is the goal, clarity is the instrument. But let's dig deeper into the phenomenon of cognitive dissonance. So, in simple terms, dissonance is the discomfort we feel when our behaviors contradict our values or beliefs. For example, if you value focus but spend hours doom scrolling, you create internal friction. Your nervous system notices, your whole body notices that there's tension between things you're doing. The brain starts rationalizing, minimizing this tension. But over time, this erodes self-trust. People who live in a state of misalignment often experience anxiety, procrastination, and a sense of guilt. They live most of their lives with this creeping sense of guilt. They literally operate from a mind state of guilt, and this is the worst mind state to be in. Because even when you'll achieve what you want, inside you'll secretly feel like you don't deserve it, because you don't trust your own self. You don't trust your own ability to do things aligned with your values. So as we said, in order for you to live with alignment, you should know your core values. But to do so, you gotta pay attention in not being shaped by your surroundings. To be fair, we are all in some way shaped by our surroundings. The key thing is this. Passive people absorb information from their environment like sponges. They literally become their environment. Other people are active in this process. They also receive input from their environment, but they actively do an act of synthesis, creating values for themselves. They also observe their environment. They also are shaped by it, but then they also make an active process of synthesis, cutting out what doesn't align to them. Synthesizing means taking values from the outside and blending them together, eliminating what you don't like. Cutting out just means noticing something that doesn't feel right to you and saying, I don't want to live like that, and putting it out of your own self. And finally, a key point. Values are the compass, not the destination. You're not supposed to achieve them like goals. You are meant to embody them every day. In life you have values, which is a moral label you have that gets reflected in everything you do. And then goals. This is the more basic stuff like, I want that, I want that. Goals are shaped by values. And the thing is, you can achieve goals, but you can't actually achieve values. Values should be the compass. You can't actually embody perfectly a value, because values are by nature unachievable. They are perfect entities, abstract entities. Their role is guiding our behavior. The process for value is daily embodiment, gradually becoming. You'll perpetually get nearer. If one of your core values is strength, both physical and mental, you'll do two things. First, you'll set specific goals to match your value. Then you'll embrace your value by acting daily towards it. This is alignment. When you're aligned, you feel energized even when you're tired. When misaligned, you feel empty all day, even when on the outside it seems like you're winning. And as usual, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.